The clock is ticking towards on-street short-term paid parking, which will be implemented by the Castries Constituencies Council. Commencing in early May this year, 10 terminals will be installed at various locations within the city. Installations will start on Bridge Street near the post office, with another on Upper Bridge Street, in the William Peter Boulevard, at the corner of Bourbon and Miku Streets, Labrie Street near Digicel, the corner of Labrie and Miku Streets, on the corner of Pinier and High Streets, Jabati Street, the corner of Miku and Brogley Streets, and the corner of Pinier and Brazil Streets. According to Mayor Peterson Francis, this is meant to resuscitate a city choked by traffic.
The city, basically if you look at it now, is dead. Even the commercial thing, and you realize that the commercial activities start moving out. So we are not trying to bring back life into the city. And one of the main reasons is to make sure that the city is buoyant again.
The rates at launch will be $3 an hour, and parking rates will apply from Monday to Saturday and on public holidays. But is there legislation to support such an initiative?
Presently, no. The legislation is not in place as yet. But the AG is now actively working on that. We are working in the Ministry of Transport. I'm the Chief Transport Officer, and there are certain permissions that we have received. So the legislation thing is in train.
But why put the cart before the horse?
These terminals, it's not a matter of just going over the counter and just buy them. There are certain requirements that is needed. So in other words, we had to put the specifications on all this. Like the currency on all this. So these things had to be done in advance.
Converge Solutions is tasked with installing and providing technical and logistical support for the on-street short-term paid parking terminals.
Ideally, people, after choosing the available spot, would go to the nearest machine and key in their information about their vehicle, number plate in particular, and put in the duration of time they expect to park. Ideally, if they have the time, they should go back and display the ticket on the dashboard, but it's not necessary because the custodians or the parking attendants would be able to put in their register, put into the terminal the vehicle's number, and will tell them whether that vehicle is registered in the parking terminal and whether they are still within the validity of the parking time that they are paid for.
This new system will not affect tenants of the CDC or tenants who utilize the Derek Walker Square parking spaces. But what about other vehicle owners who work within the city? Will they be forced to pay $3 an hour as well?
It's for short-term intervals. So you really should not be planning to spend 4 hours in a parking lot on this regular tariff structure. Should you need more time than that, a package will be developed for you with the Castries City Council, and we facilitate the programming for the people like the commercial business houses who have their own parking, or people who want longer-term parking on a permanent basis.
And what about the manpower to police the terminals?
We'll have the wardens specifically assigned to these terminals. They have to be cleared at a certain time. So we'll have a special unit for these terminals. So that is absolutely not a problem.
The initial public awareness campaign is being conducted under the slogan, $3 an hour could save you $500 in parking tickets. Garfield Alexander, NBC Prime.